pays to remember appointments and schedules. The man who is always punctually keeping appointments never loses anything by it. Know only about half an hour waiting for other fellows to show up. There isn't much I can do about those of you who know that you have an appointment and get there late. Anyway, but I think I can help you if you forget those appointments completely. You've already learned in a previous chapter how to remember your errands or appointments for each day. You can still use the idea, but if in your particular business or even socially you find it necessary to keep numerous appointments during the week at certain times of the day, you'll be interested in this chapter. The system contained here is one which enables you to make a conscious association as soon as you made an appointment. By making this association, you can recall all your appointments for each day of the week without bothering with a date or memo book. For those of you who don't care about remembering weekly appointments or schedules, I would suggest that you learn the idea behind the method anyway. You never know when you might find it useful. Please don't let the length of the explanation frighten you. Once you understand and use it, there's nothing to it. The first thing you must do is to get a number to each day of the week. Since there are 7 days in the week, you number them from 1 to 7. According to our calendar, Sunday is the first day of the week. But I have found that many people refer to Monday as the first day of the week. This, I imagine, is because of our workday world. And the first day of the week is Monday. I will therefore use Monday as the first day of the following explanation. If you are accustomed to consider Sunday as the first day of the week, just change the explanation as you read. From now on, remember days of the week in this manner. 1 Monday, Tuesday 2, Wednesday 3, Thursday 4, Friday 5, and Saturday 6, and Sunday 7. Once you know the number of each day of the week, you can transpose any day at any hour to one of your peg words. That's right. You use the peg words which you already know to help you remember schedules and appointments each day at every hour will be represented by a peg word. And you don't have to remember anything to know the words. It is work itself. And any day at any particular hour can be transposed into a 2-digit number in this way. The number of days will be the first digit, and the half hour itself will be the second digit. For example, if you wanted to remember an appointment for Wednesday at 4 o'clock, Wednesday is the third day of so 3 is the first digit. The appointment is for 4 o'clock, so 4 is the second digit. And you now have a 2-digit number, 34. And the peg word for 34 is mower. Therefore, mower was represent Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Monday, 2 o'clock would be 10. Monday is the first day, and the time is 2 o'clock. In the same way, you would arrive at the following. Thursday at 1 o'clock, Rod, 41. Friday at 8 o'clock, Lava, 58. Sunday at 6 o'clock, Cage at 76. Tuesday at 9 o'clock is Knob at 29. Simple as that. Of course, you can transpose the day and hour to a peg word. It is just as easy to transpose a peg word to the day and hour. Notch, for example, is your peg word for 26. So it must represent Tuesday 2 at 6 o'clock. There are 2 hours that cannot be represented by a peg word. That is because they themselves are composed of 2 digits. It means, of course, 11 and 12 o'clock. 10 o'clock can be transposed to be a regular peg word because it is thought of as 0 only. Instead of 1 and 0, in other words, Saturday at 10 o'clock would be transposed to word Saturday to 60 G's because Saturday is the 6th day and 10 o'clock is 0 rows. 40 would represent Thursday at 10 o'clock. Monday at 10 o'clock is toes, and so on. I'll give you two methods of handling 11 and 12 o'clock, both of which have been tried and tested. The first method is the obvious one, although not the better one, because it follows the same system as the other hours. Transpose any day at 11 or 12 o'clock to the 3-digit number by adding 11 or 12 onto the number of the day, i.e. Tuesday at 11 o'clock, Tuesday at 11 o'clock, 211, Thursday at 12 o'clock, 412, Sunday at 12 o'clock, 712, Wednesday at 11 o'clock, 311, etc. Now you would have to make up a peg word following the phonetic alphabet, which would fit each day at 11 or 12 o'clock. The words you select would be used all the time for those days and hours. If you want to use this idea, don't make up your mind until you've read the second method. I'll give you some examples for words that can be used. You can pick of these or any that you find by yourself. 11 bottle toad, 12 two toe 10 2 11 for Thursday you have 11 knotted and knitted, 12 Indian knotted. For Wednesday you have 7 you have mated it, and for 12 you have mutton mitten. Thursday 11 raided radiate, and for 12 you have rotten earth. Lightly loaded, and 12 is lightened, and for wholesome day. 11 o'clock is jaded, and 12 o'clock is jitney shedded. For Sunday, 11 o'clock is coated and cadet, and 12 o'clock is kitten and cotton. The following method I think is better of the two. First of all, I transpose the day 11 or 12 o'clock into a digit instead of 3-digit number. I do this by considering 11 o'clock as one and 12 o'clock as a 2. Now Friday at 11 o'clock is thought of as 51, Friday at 12 o'clock 52, Sunday at 11 o'clock 71, Sunday at 12 o'clock 72, etc. Of course, you can't use your regular peg words for these sets. They are already being used for 1 and 2 o'clock. So use any other word that fits phonetically for these numbers. Let me give you a few examples. For Tuesday at 11 o'clock, you could use the word nut, later on. When you picture your association, I'll explain the association in a moment. You will know that nut couldn't represent Thursday at 1 o'clock because you would have to use your regular peg word net for that. So nut must stand for Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Saturday at 12 o'clock could be represented by chin, your regular peg, and that regular peg word. Jane represents Saturday at 2 o'clock. So you know that chin must mean Sunday at 12. Do you get it? Now basically it's this. For any day at 11 or 12 o'clock, use the same sound that you would use for that day at 1 or 2 o'clock. But do not use your regular peg word. That's all there is to it. If all your appointments, you have all the information you need. Now, suppose you have an appointment to see the dentist at 9 o'clock on Tuesday, and you want to be sure that you won't forget it. Will transpose Tuesday at 9 o'clock to your peg word knob and associate complaint that the dentist you might picture a gigantic doorknob. As the dentist you Tuesday appointment at Tuesday, and you want to be sure that you won't forget it well. Transpose Tuesday at 9 o'clock to the peg word knob and associate that to the dentist. You might picture a gigantic doorknob as a dentist, or you can see and feel your dentist pulling a knob from your mouth instead of a tooth. If you had to remember to make a deposit at your bank on Monday at 2 o'clock, you would associate 10 to bank. You have to catch a plane on Friday at 11 o'clock, associate loaded to land. According to the method you're using, 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock at an airplane Wednesday, 10 o'clock you have to visit friend, associate, mice, to friend, etc. If you usually have an appointment with people whom you do not know too well, or if you cannot picture them, use a substitute word of their names in your association. That's all you have to do. If you have made an association for your amount for the entire week and you want to remember what you had scheduled for that day, Tuesday, simply go to the fake page, words for that particular day. Tuesday, nose, nets, none, name, Nero, nail, notch, neck, knife, knob, knitted, knot, and Indian or neon. As soon as you reach the fake word that you have been associated, you'll know it. You might reach neck and know immediately that you've made a picture of neck and say hospital. This will remind you that you have to visit your sick friend at the hospital. That's 7 o'clock on Tuesday, that's all. Again, you need to try to be convinced that this works. As I personally am concerned, that is all to use to remember weekly schedule. Some of my appointments may be arranged for an hour exactly, and others for, say, 3:15, 3:30, or 3:45, but I find that it doesn't matter if I associate the day to the appointment at 3 o'clock. On 3 o'clock. True memory tells me that the date is 4:15, the hour for 15:30, or 45 minutes past the hour. However, there may be some of you who remember the exact time to the minute of your appointment, such as catching trains, etc. In order to do this, you must add only one word to your mental picture. You would actually be remembering 4 digits instead of 2-digit number. The second pair of digits will represent minutes, while the first digits represent the day and the hour. For example, if your appointment with the daily dentist was on Tuesday at 9:45 o'clock, transpose the day and hour to knob 29. And get rain into that association to represent 45. You realize, of course, that in this case, you are faced with the second problem, as you were when learning to memorize the 4 trunk line digits of telephone number. In the above example, how will you be sure that your dental appointment is on Tuesday at 9:45 and not for Thursday at 2:29? This could happen if you weren't sure. As long as to which peg word belongs first and which belongs last. Well, the problem is solved in the same manner as it was solved for telephone numbers. The best solution is to make a illogical association so that even though it is a ridiculous picture, one peg must logically follow another. If you made a picture of your dentist pulling a knob from your mouth instead of a tooth and doing it in the pouring rain, you would know what knob came from. Okay, you would know that knob came first, following the rain. Although for the other suggestions that I gave you for the telephone numbers will apply to your appointments too. If you use the link for your pictures, you would associate dentist to knob and knob to rain. The idea of using a word other than the regular peg word for the last two digits, in this case, the digits represent the minutes, is just as applicable here that would help you for at any time except 11 or 12 o'clock, where it wouldn't be necessary, since you are not using a regular peg for the day and time anyways. You are the best judge as to just which idea to use. I would suggest trying them all. The one that comes easiest to you, of course, is the right one for you. Otherwise, I told you, don't. I don't think it's necessary to bother with the minute of an appointment. If I did want to remember the minute, I would do this. Do it this way. On Monday at 3:25, I must remember to pick up a television set. Would picture a television. I would picture a television set acting as a tomb. So, well, nails perform on the screen. See, I use a logical picture idea. Association above will leave no doubt the tomb Monday at 3 o'clock. Go first. Followed by the nail, 25 minutes. One other example, on Wednesday at 12:10, I have a date to go swimming. I would make a picture of myself swimming. I hit a mine, which injures my toe. Now, when I go over my pigs for Wednesday of that week, mice, mat, moon, mummy, mower, mule, match, bug, movie, map, mitt, and mine. I always use the mitt to represent map. Yes, map to represent map. Mitt and mine. I will be reminded for this ridiculous picture. I know that mine is not one of my regular pigs, so I must represent 12, not 2 o'clock. Toes 10 begins. The last part of the association represents the minutes, so I know that my swimming date is Wednesday at 12:10. There are the ideas that I use, but again, let me stress that what is best for me is not necessarily best for you. This must be left to your own this direction, which I'm sure you will use once you understand the basic principles involved. You might be wondering about one little thing at this point, and that is, how do I differentiate between, say, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.? Well, that's a good theoretical question, but if you stop to think for a moment, you will realize that there can hardly be any conflict if you use this system for practical purposes. The appointments that you make for the evening are usually so vastly different than those made for morning that they couldn't possibly become confused. You will certainly know, for example, whether you usually see your dentist in the morning or in the evening, you usually know that your dinner date is 7 and not 7 a.m., 7 p.m., not 7 a.m. And if you had an appointment to meet your friend for lunch in front of the public library and you go there at 7 a.m., you would be awfully hungry. So by the time you had lunch, so you say, there's really no, so you see there's really no problem there. Of course, if you had to, you could put words into your ridiculous association to tell you whether it was AM or PM. You could use M or for AM and poem for PM, or any other word that use those letters. You might even use white and black to get black into your mental picture to stand for PM and white for AM. But believe me, all this is hardly necessary. I only mention it to show that you can remember anything with the use of conscious association. Now you can discover your note and memo pads if you use USC. The systems explained in this chapter, remember, only if you use it will it help you. Here are the bare bones of the system. When you make an appointment, transpose the day and hour and or minutes to peg word. Associate the appointment itself to the peg words. When you arise on the morning of each day, or if you like the evening before you go over all your pegs for the day. When you come to a peg that has been used in an association, you'll know it. This will remind you of what you have to do in that particular hour. As the day goes on, you might make it a habit to check your peg words for the day periodically. This is the case. 1 week appointment has slipped your mind, even though you were reminded of this morning. In the next chapter, I will show you how to remember important dates through the year, such as anniversaries, birthdays, etc. But for the time being, you should never forget any weekly appointment. If you follow these rules, the information you've been taught here can be practiced or used as a memory stunt. The following in the following manner: have a friend call out certain errands for different hours, of different days, or different weeks. They needn't be called in any sense. Appointments are never made in particular order. Anyway, have him write these down as he calls them for you. After he has called about 20 of them. Simply go over your pick words for Monday, toast, hot, 10, tube, etc., and call back all the Monday appointments. Do the same for each day of the entire week, or he can give you the time of day and the day, and you give him the errand, and so on. Then give your friend a half an hour to remember the same list. The odds are he will fail miserably.